I welcome you to the second lecture demonstration of this morning, which will be by Amrita Lahiri, who began dancing at the age of 7 in Washington, D.C., studying under Anuradha Nehru, until she shifted to New Delhi at the age of 15. After her solo debut at the India International Center in New Delhi in 1996, she continued to perform Kuchipudi and also started learning Bharatanatyam under Natyakala Acharya Srimati Kumari Leela Sampson. Amrita toured extensively with Leela Sampson's group Spanda, performing with her guru. While in New Delhi, she studied under Swapna Sundari and Sita Nagajoti, and in Chennai, she studied under Jayakishore Mosalikanti. She holds a master's degree in sociology and has over 10 years of experience in arts management, and apart from being a performer, is also a writer on the arts. Over to Amrita Lahiri. She will be speaking on setting Tagore's Chitrangada to Kuchipudi.
I am Chitra, daughter of the kingly house of Manipur. With godlike grace, Lord Shiva promised my royal grandsire an unbroken line of male descent. Nevertheless, the divine word proved powerless to change the spark of life in my mother's womb. So invincible was my nature, woman though I be. Yes, that is why I am dressed in man's attire and have left the seclusion of a woman's chamber. My hands are strong to bend the bow, but I have never known the play of eyes, Cupid's archery. One day, in search of game, I roved to the banks of the Purna river. It is with these lines that the solo version of Chitrangada begins. I will take you through the story briefly with small excerpts from the Chitrangada that I have created using two of Rabindranath Tagore's works. One is his Bengali dance drama, Chitrangada, and the other is his English play, one-act play Chitra, both written in the year 1913, the same year that he won the Nobel Prize. So briefly, some of you may know the story. Chitrangada was born to the king of Manipur, who raised his daughter like a man. So she was trained in warfare, she was strong, brave. She was also compassionate and kind and a savior of her people. One day, as she was out hunting in the forest, she bumped into Arjuna, the great hero of the Mahabharata, and she was immediately smitten by him, for she had heard so much about his bravery, about his strength, about his focus. And so she offers herself to him, openly, generously, in her manly, masculine form, only to be rejected by Arjuna. I'll show you that small excerpt. হায় হায়, নারীরে করেছি ব্যর্থ দীর্ঘকাল জীবনে আমার। ধিক ধনুস্বর, ধিক বাহুবল, মুহূর্তের অশ্রু বন্যা বেগে ভাষায় দিল যে মোর পৌরুষ সাধনা। Only vaguely do I remember what words I said and what answers I got in return. Do not ask me to tell you all. His final words pricked my ears like red-hot needles. I have taken the vow of celibacy. I am not fit to be your husband. ব্রহ্মচর্য পুরুষের স্পর্ধায় যে, নারীরে পরাভবে লজ্জা পাবে বিশ্বের রমণী। Love, God love, you have laid low in the dust the vain pride of my man-like strength, and all my man's training lies crushed at your feet. Now teach me your lessons. Give me the strength of the weak and the weapon of the unarmed hand. Panchoshar, তোমারই এ পরাজয়, জাগো হে অতনু, সখীরে বিজয় দূতি করো তব, নিরস্ত্র নারীর অস্ত্র দাও তারে, দাও তারে অবলার বল. Make me superbly beautiful. Chitrangada prays to Manmadha after being rejected, saying that what is the use of all this manly training? I want to be a seductive, beautiful woman so that he'll fall in love with me. And Manmadha grants her her wish. I found the transformation from Kurupa to Surupa, the ugly form of Chitrangada, to the beautiful form of Chitrangada, to be one of the most challenging. And it was a bit of an experiment because in the solo version that I created, I decided to do away with extra characters. It's a solo. I also decided to do away with the usual props that many people use when they show Chitrangada. Usually you see a kurupa with a turban and surupa with a veil or some costume change, or one dancer changes so that you have an ugly form and a beautiful form. And I didn't want to do this because I really wanted to bring out this essence of this character, which was so interesting. And in Kuchipudi, we have so many items that are actually pieces that are taken from larger dance dramas. And these are abridged and then created to suit the solo dancer on stage, because this is, 2020 almost. So there has been an evolution. Now this is what intrigued me, that how can you show an entire dance drama in one body with just music and poetry and dance? Is this possible? And so in doing away with the props and the costume changes and things, I tried something with the transformation scene. So Chitrangada transforms from her kurupa self to her surupa self, from her masculine form to the beautiful form. Following her transformation, Chitrangada approaches Arjuna once again in her beautiful form. And this time, he is immediately smitten. And he is eager to be with this beautiful feminine form that approaches him. Chitrangada has mixed feelings, for she's disappointed that her great hero could fall so easily for an illusion. And yet, she wants to be with him. So they do have a romance. And one day, as they are in the forest happily together, the villagers run through searching for their warrior princess Chitrangada. Where is our great savior, they say, the one who is like a father and a mother to us, the one who is brave like a man, but compassionate like a woman? Where is she? We need her help to save us from the invaders that are coming. Arjuna hears this and is intrigued and says to his beautiful companion, "Do you know of that Chitrangada? Who is this great warrior princess? I want to hear more about her," not realizing that she's right there next to him in this beautiful illusion form. And the response that Tagore gives in the Bengali play is very beautiful. He says, "Chichi kutshitoku raposhe." She is disgusting. The beautiful one says of the ugly one, of the masculine one, that she is disgusting. You don't want to see her. Her arms are strong to bend the bow, but she cannot pierce a hero's heart like yours. She doesn't have beautiful eyes. She doesn't have a beautiful voice. Chichi kutshitoku raposhe.
Chichi kutshitoku raposhe. Chichi kutshitoku raposhe. Hano bungi madhuru jugana hita. Hano uchchalo kachalo akhitara. Chichi লজ্জা নাহি শঙ্কা, নাহি নিষ্ঠুর সুন্দর রঙ্গ, নাহি নীরব ভঙ্গির সঙ্গীত লীলা ইঙ্গিত ছন্দ মধুর। ছিছি কুৎসিত কুরূপসে, ছিছি কুৎসিত কুরূপসে।
আগ্রহ মোর অধীরতি, কোথা সে রমণী বীর্যবতী। আগ্রহ মোর অধীরতি, কোথা সে রমণী বীর্যবতী। কোশ বিমুক্ত কৃপানলতা, দারুণ সে সুন্দর সে, উদ্যত বজ্রের রুদ্র রসে।
ভাগবতী সেজে।
As you can see, Chitrangada describes her manly self as very ugly, but Arjuna still wants to see this warrior princess. So she says, of what use was all this beauty? Take it back. And she asks Manvada to transform her back to her usual warrior masculine self. And the final song that Tagore has here is particularly important and perhaps the most radical statement that he makes on man and woman relations. For it says, Ami Chitrangada, Rajendra Nandini, which is that I am Chitrangada, the princess, not a goddess to be worshipped, nor an ordinary woman to be neglected. If you can keep me as your equal, as your partner, in strife and in difficulty, and remember that this is 1913 that he is writing this, just before India's independence. If you can keep me as your equal partner, even in difficulty, only then you will know me truly. This is what I offer you. I am Chitrangada. This will be my last excerpt, and then I will speak to you a little bit about Tagore and his time and his work.
আমি চিত্রাঙ্গদা, আমি রাজেন্দ্র নন্দিনী, নহি দেবী নহি সামান্য নারী। আমি চিত্রাঙ্গদা, পূজা করে মোরে রাখিবে ঊর্ধ্বে, সে নহি নহি হেলা করে মোরে রাখিবে পিছে, সে নহি নহি যদি পার্শ্বে রাখো মোরে, সংকটে সম্পদে সম্মতি দাও যদি কঠিন ব্রতে, সহায় হতে পাবে তবে তুমি চিনিতে মোরে। আজ শুধু করি নিবেদন, আমি চিত্রাঙ্গদা।
The story of Chitrangada is immediately exciting, contemporary, classic, relevant, thrilling. It forces us to ask, will transforming yourself to suit someone else's standards or expectations guarantee acceptance? Will changing yourself guarantee love? Tagore's answer, of course, is no, it will not. Staying true to yourself is the only path to love and acceptance. What is even more exciting is that this story was written in 1913, over 100 years ago, and yet it is relevant today. It is a timeless theme. In Chitrangada, Tagore makes a radical statement on the man-woman relationship. In the final song, as you saw, he says, if you take me as your equal partner, only then you will know me truly. This in 1913 is a radical statement. What was happening in 1913 in India? What was Tagore's historical context? This is why I chose the title, Tip of the Iceberg, for today's talk. Under the dance that you see on stage, there are layers. There's context, history, philosophy, stagecraft, which forms a large base beneath what you see performed. Particularly in classical Indian dance, where the term classic refers to a root in history, a continuous lineage of arts. Historical context for a piece, whether a varnam or a tarangam or a dance drama, is particularly important. So in 1913, when Tagore wrote this, there were already efforts at women's rights reforms. Many men and women were speaking up for the rights of women to education. They were trying to prevent child marriage. Reformers were encouraging widow remarriage. In spite of these efforts at reform, around the time that Tagore was writing Chitrangada, and I quote, a new ideal of female domesticity across religious lines also took shape during the decades at the turn of the century. In that ideal, women were meant to be educated and respectable according to the models of behavior set out by government and missionary example. But in dramatic contrast to those models, they were meant also to be upholders of their sacred religious traditions. In addition, they were conceived of as bulwarks protecting what was seen as the uncolonized space of the home against an outside world dominated by colonial values. In Bengal, that woman was the Grihalakshmi, or goddess of the home. This is from Metcalfe and Metcalfe's Concise History of Modern India. It was in the background of these ideals of the domestic woman at the turn of the century that Tagore wrote his play Chitrangada, radically about an outspoken, brave warrior princess. Since this talk is called the tip of the iceberg, it is important that I discuss here another very important layer under the dance, literature. It is only in close reading thoroughly both the Bengali dance drama Chitrangada and Tagore's English one-act play Chitra that one completely understands the import of this story, the theme of this story. Is it merely about a man's preference for beautiful women? Certainly not. In this, I found similarity with the Kuchipudi dance drama Bhamakalapam. While most of us learned only the Pravesha Daravu, the entry dance of Satyabhama, as students, it is only when you consider the entire story and how it unfolds that one truly understands the character of Satyabhama. Is she just an arrogant, egoistic woman? I don't think so. Gender relations are quite central in Satyabhama as well. Bhama is impatient to be reunited with Krishna, for female and male principles are complete only when they are in a balanced union. In developing Chitrangada, I read and reread the two Tagore works closely. The final product uses only a few verses and dialogues from Tagore, but it was crucial to look at the complete work to completely understand her character. For example, in the play Chitra, there is a dialogue between Arjuna and Surupa Chitrangada, the beautiful Chitrangada, which goes as follows, and I've abridged it. Arjuna says to her, Arjuna says to Chitrangada, "It is Chitra, I wonder of her in fulfillment." And Chitra, the beautiful form, says, "Her very qualities are as prison walls, shutting her woman's heart in a bare cell. She is obscured. She is unfulfilled. Beauty is denied her. She is like the spirit of a cheerless morning, Do not ask me of her life. And Arjuna says, I am eager to learn all about her. Chitra replies, saying, Arjuna, tell me true, if now at once, by some magic, I could shake myself free from this voluptuous softness, this timid bloom of beauty, would you be able to bear it? If I stand up straight and strong with the strength of a daring heart, if I hold my head high like a tall young mountain fir, no, no, you could not endure it. And Arjun says, illusion is the first appearance of truth. She advances towards her lover in disguise. But a time comes when she throws off her ornaments and veils and stands clothed in naked dignity. I grope for that ultimate you, that bare simplicity of truth. This is the key to Tagore's work, this searching for truth, revealing the truth. This is his main theme. Chitra begins to cry in this moment of painful irony and finally reveals herself to Arjuna. Similarly, the first song that I showed you this morning, Mohini Maya Elo, is often left out in renditions of Chitrangada, but it holds the entire theme of the production, which is that strike down the fortress of dreams and illusion, bring liberation, tear asunder the bondage of deception. This is the translation of the Bengali words. It is from a deep understanding of the historical context and literature that one can start to imagine Chitrangada as a performance. Although I used Tagore's poetry and literary ideas, Chitrangada is completely Kuchipudi in choreography, using also the technique of Vachika Abhinaya. We must look at the historical context of Kuchipudi to understand the choreographic choices that suit the style. As most of you already know, Kuchipudi evolved from its origins in dance drama traditions of Andhra. Traditionally, men of certain families from the village named Kuchipudi used to travel the Andhra countryside presenting musical plays, which included a lot of dancing. And it gained momentum during the Bhakti movement of the 16th century. In the 1940s and 50s, some of the boys of the village started to move out of Andhra and especially into the cities like Hyderabad and Chennai. And men from these traditional families taught their art widely. The most prominent name amongst them was Guru Vempati Chinna Satyam, whose style of Kuchipudi I have been trained in and perform. His contribution to Kuchipudi is unparalleled, and incidentally, Vempati Master choreographed a beautiful dance drama in Telugu of Tagore's Chandalika. He translated the verses from Bengali to Telugu. So by the 1960s, there were big changes in Kuchipudi as a dance form. It was redefined, as were most of the other 7 styles of classical dance. What used to be performed only by Brahmin men started being taught to women as well. What used to be the strict purview of Brahmins was now open and available to all castes and ethnicities. What used to be only dance dramas performed in the village squares became a solo repertoire, performed for a short evening's concert for diverse audiences. This evolution is fascinating. It is ongoing, happening every day with every new practitioner of this dance form. What is gained in this transformation from group dance to solo dance? Can we perhaps bring out the stark essence of a character better in solo format? It is a process of distilling, finding the essence, and leaving some things to the imagination. In a sense, this is what has been done in the famous Bhama Kalapam. It is only the character of Satyabhama that is focused on, though there are other characters like Krishna and Madhavi. Similarly with Usha in Usha Parinam, Aniruddha and Chitralekha are peripheral. Sometimes the theme or the message gets obscured in the spectacle of drama. Perhaps solo dance is the space where the actor or dancer can most effectively lay bare the character that we are embodying. I was forced to ask in the process of Chitrangada, how important is Arjuna to this story? As you saw, I did not enact him in the beginning. Sometimes I react to him. In some places, I had to turn and take on his character. He is a hinge on which the story turns, but it is Chitrangada's character and emotions that are central. Similarly in Bhama Kalapam, Krishna is referred to and even appears, but is not crucial. It is Satyabhama's character and emotions which are most interesting. Anyone who has seen the late Vedantam Satyanarayana Sharma or Swapna Sundari perform Bhama Kalapam can attest to the superfluous nature of Krishna's character when Satyabhama is done with expertise. The emphasis is on internalized character development, Satvika Abhinaya, rather than costume, Aharya Abhinaya. I also use the technique of Vachika Abhinaya, or spoken dialogues, which is a trademark of the Kuchipudi style. While originally in Kuchipudi these were spoken only in Telugu, here I use Bengali and English. In places where movement would be inadequate to convey the power of the words, I use the original Bengali script and English. All of the words are also from Tagore. When it is a great poet like Tagore, you don't really need any other text. Now, the solid core of the iceberg lies in the music. Whether music follows dance or dance follows music, in Indian classical dance, it is difficult to distinguish, for they are so intrinsically connected. It was a delicate balance between staying true to Tagore and to Kuchipudi at the same time. It was Kuldeep Pai's great talent to combine Carnatic music with Rabindra Sangeet. Tagore's music was copyrighted by Vishwabharati after his death in 1941, and this copyright continued till 2005. Interestingly, and especially since I am at the Music Academy this morning, and I quote, Tagore confronted his own contradictions in advocating artistic freedom while seeking to protect his songs from creative interpretation by others. This is from Reba Soam's book. He compared it, in a matter of speaking, with the contrast between free impulse and the directive will that was manifest in the organized universe. The constant harmony of chance and determination in the drama of existence kept it eternally new and living. In music, too, by navigating with an element of elasticity between the foundational structure of melody and variations of musical flourish, an orderly scheme of things could evolve. Tagore's worry was that to achieve this balance, talent was required, and his songs, as he often heard being sung, disappointed him for failing to capture his principal message. It is an often asked question: where is the spontaneity in classical dance and music? It seems to be so strictly structured in composition and choreography. But it is in the navigation within these boundaries that one ironically finds freedom. It is this navigation that keeps the classical arts alive and fresh and contemporary. Each practitioner brings to it a new dimension. One can question whether Tagore himself would have approved of the copyright on his work. And interestingly, in 1926, as he traveled through Europe, he was discussing these topics of music with such intellectuals as Albert Einstein. They were discussing music and the structure, freedom. While creating Chitra, I was faced on the one side with the copyright on the Bengali music. Every Bengali worth her fish is familiar with the songs of Chitrangada. They are household tunes. On the other hand, I was faced with the unique structures of the Kuchipudi Kalapam, drawing its roots from Telugu Yakshagana. There are certain musical structures in the Kalapam that are expected. The Praveshadaru, Ragada, Dvipada, Padyam, these are the usual forms of verse that are used. Certain meters are also common in the Yakshagana format of literature. The Bengali verses of Tagore could never be adapted to these structures. Hence, the music required innovation and a unique navigation between Carnatic flavor and Rabindra Sangeet, which Kuldeep Pai did. Adit Narayan did the rhythms. I traveled to Kolkata to collect the original Tagore songs of Chitrangada, and these were arranged in Chennai. The selection of the songs was a tough one. The seed for this production was in long discussions with Kuldeep Pai, the composer, Jai Kishore Mosalikanti, my Kuchipudi guru here in Chennai, and my Bengali parents. Bengali is perhaps the furthest removed from the speed and lilt of Kuchipudi dance, but the closest to my heart, for I too am a bong. My mother was a graduate of Tagore's Vishwabharati in Bolpur, and my father grew up entirely in Kolkata, educated in Bengali medium throughout school. We were raised speaking Bengali at home, even while growing up in Washington, D.C. My Bengali family always looked a bit puzzled as I danced happily my Kuchipudi items to Telugu songs. So creating a piece with some Bengali in it was both personally and professionally very fulfilling. Why is a Bengali girl pursuing Kuchipudi? I often get asked. I doubt that the same question is posed to hundreds of Bharatanatyam dancers who are not from Tamil Nadu. Perhaps Bharatanatyam is considered more pan-Indian, while Kuchipudi refers to the dance of a small village in Andhra, which most people cannot even locate on a map. I hope that in the near future, I will not be faced with this question. More young people are taking up Kuchipudi as a profession, and it is important that Kuchipudi constantly expands beyond its regional identity while still retaining its Telugu roots. Telugu may not be my mother tongue, but Kuchipudi is my first and strongest mode of expression. In my constant navigation between these two cultures, my Bengali heritage by birth, and the dance form of Andhra that I have chosen, choreographing Chitrangada was thrilling. I end today with an excerpt from a Tilana, using a song of Tagore, another one, not from Chitrangada, Esho Shamula Shundaro, in Rag Desh, for it is a most joyous celebration of the timeless friendship of both Carnatic music and Rabindra Sangeet. It's also particularly apt, for the song talks about the rains, which we have today in Chennai. Thank you.
Nadra dhim tadim tadirana Nadra dhim tadirana Dim tadirana Dirana 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 Nadra dhim tadirana Dim tadirana Dirana 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 Nadra dhim tadirana Dim tadirana Dirana 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 Dhrim tadim 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 tadirana
এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর অনুতব তাপহরা ত্রিশহরা সঙ্গ সুধা বিরোহিণী চাহিয়াছে আকাশে শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর অনুতব তাপহরা ত্রিশহরা সঙ্গ সুধা বিরোহিণী চাহিয়াছে আকাশে শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর
నాదృదీం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధీరన ధీరనాదృదీం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధీరన ధీరనాదృదీం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధీరన ధీరనాదృదీం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధిరన ధిరన ధృతిం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధిరన ధిరన ధృతిం తదీం తదిరన దీం తదిరన ధీరన ధిరన ధిరన ధృతిం తదీం తదిరన
বকুল মুকুল রেখেছে গাঁথিয়া বাজিছে অঙ্গনে মিলন বাঁশরি বকুল মুকুল রেখেছে গাঁথিয়া বাজিছে অঙ্গনে মিলন বাঁশরি తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం సానిద పమగరి తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం తన్నుం తదిం సానిద పమగరి తాకిట తదిం తక్క జడుదగదిం తజ్జడుదగదిం జడుదగదిం తదదిం దీం సతిమ పన్ను పన్ను తాకిట తదిం తక్క జడుదగదిం తజ్జడుదగదిం జడుదగదిం తదదిం దీం సతిమ పన్ను বকুল মুকুল রেখেছে গাঁথিয়া বাজিছে অঙ্গনে মিলন বাঁশরিয়ানো সাথে তোমার মন্দিরা চঞ্চল নৃত্যের বাজিবে সন্দেশে আনো সাথে তোমার মন্দিরা চঞ্চল নৃত্যের বাজিবে সন্দেশে বাজিবে কঙ্কন বাজিবে কিঙ্কিণী বাজিবে কঙ্কন বাজিবে কিঙ্কিণী বাজিবে কঙ্কন বাজিবে কিঙ্কিণী ঝঙ্কারিবে মঞ্জির রুনু রুনু শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর తజ్జం తదిం తిరనదిం తదిరనదిం తజం తజ్జం తదిం తిరనదిం తదిరనదిం తజం తజ్జం తదిం తిరనదిం తదిరనదిం తమాగరి తదిదని దత్సానిద పసనిద పప్ప మాగరి తదిదని దత్స మాగరి తది మమ పప్ప నీద మమ బనిని దత్త నీ బనిద బనిద రిట్టి మాగరి తదిదని దత్సానిద పసనిద పప్ప మాగరి తదిదని এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর আনো তব তাপহরা তৃষাহরা সঙ্গ সুধা বিরোহিণী চাহিয়াছে আকাশে শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর এসো শ্যামল সুন্দর
Thank you very much for that. A very intellectual insight into the world of Tagore and the way of setting his poetry into Kuchipudi. Thanks a lot. I now pass on the mic to our representative from the world of dance, Sri K.S.R. Aniruddha, for his comments.
தேங்க்யூ சார். வங்கத்தில் ஓடி வரும் நீரின் மிகையால் மையத்து நாடுகளில் பயிர் செய்குவோம்னர் எங்கள் பாரதி. ஹி இஸ் அவர் போயட் ஆஃப் த சவுத் தமிழ்.
So a national poet.
நேஷனல் போயட். சிந்து நதியின் இசை நிலவினிலே சேர இளம் சேர நாட்டிளம் பெண்களுடனே சுந்தர தெலுங்கினில் பாட்டிசைத்து தோணிகள் ஓட்டி விளையாடி வருவோம். Why I say that, I couldn't distinguish Odissi, I couldn't not but see Bengal, I couldn't but also acknowledge Kuchipudi. What a confluence and what a bold initiative of yours. So what I finally see is language is only for expression, but what we take is beyond expression. Exactly what the previous speaker, Mandakini ji, emphasized and reiterated through her Mohini Attam. Why should we bother whether it is Kerala, Andhra, Bengal? Not necessary at all. We attribute legends to stories or facts. For example, Jayadeva left his work unfinished because he felt it was too sensual and vulgar to keep Krishna as the protagonist. But finally realized that Krishna himself came back and completed the work, just to say, only when you know the sensual, you can go to the spiritual. And that we could see in, why should we bother what the style is? But it's still stylized. You didn't go to the mundane. So that was wonderful. You were as eloquent in both the speech as well as the dance. So we thank you so much for that insightful.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. As the previous demonstrating her Ganga Tarangam, she has to explained about the bliss which created. The same bliss was created here also. Thank you for the wonderful performance. And by the way, I also, I am a writer. I feel whatever the previous speaker has told, that Bharati has also, you were mentioning that 1913 itself, he has wrote this Chitrangada, and Bharati also, between 1910 and 20, he has talked about women's liberation. That is through his Panchali Shabadam.
Absolutely.
The Panchali Shabadam is a wonderful work. The same time, the Tagore, whatever Tagore felt, Bharati also felt here. It's a coincidence. Thank you.
Great minds thinking alike at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you again so deeply. Now, what was your inspiration of embracing the Kuchipudi way? And secondly, the whole journey of border crossing that you embody, and that border crossing is also evolving, it is not static. But what kind of challenges you have confronted, and how it can be still much more creative in terms of, I was thinking while being enchanted with your creativity, how interesting it would be if Rabindra Sangeet is also rendered in Odissi. So therefore it is just the beginning of further kind of creative transmutation that we are invited to, embody and perform.
So your question is about what led me to choose Kuchipudi? I don't think I chose it so much because I grew up dancing Kuchipudi in Washington. I started learning with Anuradha Nehru first. So it's my first dance language. And I learned Bharatanatyam later in Delhi because Leela Samson is just such a great guru. And my Kuchipudi teacher said, go to Leelaka and learn what she has to say. And then Leelaka said, but you do Kuchipudi so nicely, you must do some Kuchipudi. So then I came back to Kishoranya. So now my guru is here today. So I don't know if I've chosen it. I love it. I feel comfortable in it. I feel I can speak in Kuchipudi, So that's all it is. And it's a beautiful form. It's not seen enough. It has a lilt. It has so much appeal, which is not seen enough because sometimes it also has gotten a bit of a bad reputation as unrefined or filmy or all these other things which make us very sad because this is not at all what the gurus have worked for so many centuries. I think it's a beautiful form that needs to be seen more often. And you were saying about Rabindra Sangeet in Odissi. It's been done. Sharmila Biswas has done a lot of it. Many people have danced to Rabindra Sangeet, but it has to be done very delicately because Tagore's songs were meant to be sung. they were not really meant to be danced to, even though later in his life he loved dance and he also started dancing or, encouraging people to dance to his songs. But they're meant to be sung in groups, so they're not even that complicated. They're sung simply in groups for your own enjoyment. So when you choose a piece for dance, you have to be careful and see how you can do it. Yeah.
Interestingly, Chitrangada has also been done in Manipuri.
Yeah.
The Zaveri sisters have done
Yeah,
it, and I remember in Calcutta years ago witnessing that performance. We have a question at the back. Yes, madam.
Namaskaram, that was a very wonderful exposition. My name is Priya Murli. I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer. It's not a question, it's more an observation that in the Mahabharata, you have this cross-gender aspect in the character of Amba and Shikandi and Shikandini. If people, she is the Shikandi is the fulcrum of the whole war, because that's when Bhishma goes on his arrows. But the story of Amba is amazing because she falls in love with somebody else. She's promised to somebody else. And then she comes back to Bhishma. She has a yajna. She becomes a woman, gets married to a woman, and then goes to a yaksha. And it's a fascinating story. And I'm wondering if later on poets were inspired by such a complicated but so topical even now, because you're talking of gender issues and how it is not gender specific. And so thanks for bringing such a wonderful concept, because it is very important. And also I'd love to thank Srimati Mandakini ji, because the whole process of a dancer is to look inwards, and then when it is authenticated by a shastra, it's nothing like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, namaskaram. I am Srikant Mridangam Vidwan from Bangalore. I can call this as truly international rather than national, because born in Washington and a root in Bengal, and dancing Kuchipudi, and at Music Academy Chennai. So it is truly international, it is not national.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I now pass on the mic to Sangeeta Kalanidhi designate Dr. S. Soumya for her summation.
Namaskaram. I'm known to sing, but today my spirit and my inner self is dancing. My whole body, my spirit, everything is in vibration, spanda. It's so beautiful. It's been a lovely experience the whole morning, and this was a fantastic performance. Very relevant, as Priya said. It's so beautiful, it's so relevant, and the topic is I think ongoing. It'll go on forever, but still being addressed in so many wonderful ways by so many accomplished poets who have inspired us in so many ways. And Tagore has been an inspiration. He has taken inspiration from all over. He has taken inspiration from our classical music as well. Because I remember doing a program long back with Sri Phalguni Mitraji at Music Academy Main Hall, I think at least a couple of decades ago, where there was the Tagore's foray into classical music. So where there were people who sang the Rabindra Sangeet, and those songs which he got inspired from the Hindustani and the classical, South Indian classical for that matter. In fact, a couple of songs, some of them were like Lavanya Rama. Lavanya Rama Kanulara Judave Atila Bhanyo Purna Praneshwari is a song that he sings. Amar even Meenakshi Memudam Madhu Madhu Modito Ito Ye and the Dhyaname Varamaina Danyasi. He has been inspired by that, and also by the Hindustani musical forms like Thappa and Khayal. In fact, there's a O miya ve jane wale thanu Allah di qasam pheriya O miya ve jane wale. There's a thappa. There is an equivalent Rabindra Sangeet in this. And also khayal that I learnt actually from Sri Phalguni Mitra ji in Raga Adana. What I'm trying to say is, these were people who went beyond, as we've been discussing, language or any other barrier, even gender. That's what we need to address, I think. Earlier lecture also, Srimati Mandagini ji said, there's no a woman, a man, art and the life generally has to go beyond. The inner maya has to be really, should be unveiled. That has to be removed. And then we see the beauty in all this. The whole thing is very enlightening. The way that's, it's like, how do I say, it's so lilting, the music, and also the language used, that chi-chi, it was so beautiful the way it came through. Yeah, I know, the tape, it was a beautiful tapestry, I would say, where music, the poetry, and the language are woven together so wonderfully. But I'm just curious, did you ever use that tambalam, that to dance this in this particular thing?
No, not in Chitrangada, but we do in Tarangam, the plate dances.
Yeah, I know, but I was wondering if...
Not in this,
no. You didn't get a...
No, it didn't seem appropriate. It was really drawing more on the dance drama roots of Kuchipudi, rather than that one thali, which has become such a trademark, but there's so much more. So
I was asking, in fact, talking to Sriram, wondering if there was that also. Maybe you didn't do it today. Anyway.
I've done that. I've done Kishoranya's Tarangams twice in the Academy Festival. But today I thought I'd just stick to the Chitrangada theme.
The morning has been very, very thought-provoking in terms of not just the art alone, not just the music alone, but what a human, as humans, Manava Janma Doddadu, Nara Janma Bandaka, we hardly get it. So what is it that we should think? What is it that we should aim for? And how should we inspire other people as artists, to take them along with us in the journey to attain that bliss, ananda, to attain salvation, mukti, moksha, whatever. That's very important. That is what we strive for. And classical arts, what other than classical art can do this? What else can do this? So much is given, so much is said in this. So as artists, as there are so many music students, dance students, I'm sure, but I can see a few music students because I'm familiar with them. This is what we should see. It's not just the performance. Nariya periva sollirka. Sangeetham karcheringiradhu last form of music. Nama endha alavukku idu how much we should train ourselves, train our minds, train our intellect, hone our skills, and then train all these. And then when it is performed, we take everybody in the spiritual journey. That is very, very important, is what we have to keep in mind. In the Mari morning lectures, there is a beautiful sutra, a nice thread that has run through all these lectures, where they have said, you need to understand what has gone in the past, understand that, live that, and when you comprehend all that, and when you start looking to what should be done, then you'll be an individual, you'll have an individual style, you'll be unique in the field of arts, automatically. That is what we understand. And Najamave, and I wish more students come and participate in this on a daily basis to understand the philosophy of the series of lectures that are provided here at Music Academy, free of cost in an AC room, if that can be enticing. I think people should come. Tell all your friends. Namaskaram.